My name is Simon Homeyard, and my main function today is to go through the migrations from N3 to HSCN. As I mentioned before, I am paranoid about August 2020, and one of my other jobs is I have to report back to NHSD that we are all fit and ready to migrate across not only the N3 network but also the services upon it. And today's session is all about actually making sure we are enabled. If you're not enabled, how can we help you move across? This is a discovery workshop, so we have the whole team in here to help you. So there's your account managers, and there's also some technical advisors as well. What I would say is welcome to both our HSCN, YHPSN and our resellers. There's a mixed audience, so please feel free to join the breaks, have a chat and catch up on things and make sure, as I said, we're good to go. So the reason for today, August 2020 is not a million miles away. I'm sure you're all aware, especially our customers, because I make sure the account managers tell you time and time again, N3 is dead at the end of August 2020. As I said before, I am contacted by NHSD on a regular basis to say, are all of your customers set? You'll see in a minute how many customers and regions we have, and I'm making sure as we get nearer to that date that everything is good and clean to go. Just to kind of give you some feedback on an event I was at last week, I won't name it, but it was an CCG and Trust event. There was still some confusion over what's going to happen. So it's also important that the overlay services are ceased before August 2020. Because without those ceasing, you can't migrate off N3 because they are dependent on each other. So we were talking to many, many customers and also non-customers, which is why we are having the video today. I want to make sure 31st of July, nobody's knocking on my door saying, can you migrate 1,000 sites in a week? Because it just will not happen. Furthermore, just to help us, Microsoft are going to end of life Windows 7 as well. So there's a kind of a bow wave of activity. So again, as part of our migrations is to make sure that you have a kind of an exit plan from Windows 7 going forward. And again, the guys will take you through how we will assist you. And then on the actual additional overlay services, we're working with all of you to identify what you have. I'd love you to buy all from Redcentric. However, all I need to know is, are you migrating? If you're using your remote access tokens, if you're using IPT or video, all of those cease. And if you go on the NHSD website, they will give you the end dates and the replacement services going forward. I'm aware there's about 10,000 tokens within the Redcentric client base. So they have to go somewhere because August, the lights will go out. So what's ahead? There's also additional pressures on us, apart from next Thursday. The government are been pushing this cloud first policy, which has an impact on us all. There's also the kind of internet first policy, and what does that mean? And how do we help you get to where you need to be? And we are already seeing services migrating into the cloud. One of the things we have seen within the HSCN and YHPSN programs is you are buying bigger and fatter pipes to get ready for these new IP services as they come down. So it's already starting to happen. When it happens, we will see. The government, the current government, are all about the kind of public cloud first and access to it. And my colleague Mark is going to cover off the security side of it just to make sure we don't get caught out as we move forward. And if I take YHPSN as a good example, the YHPSN is all about collaboration, consolidation and rationalisation. And on some of our clients under YHPSN, and I'm not from Yorkshire, it's a big county, and I think Bassett Law are here today, and they're from Nottinghamshire, so you're still building your county. So it's cross-border as well, and we need to make sure when we migrate you, we take into consideration other services, consumers of your service, and that also applies to our partners who deliver our services on our behalf. So we're trying to make sure we cover all bases. So today, I'm sure you understand HSCN, and if I rabbit on about it, I just want to make sure we are all clear going forward. I'm also conscious we need to meet some certain drivers that are coming out on how the NHS will move forward, especially around the shared services and collaboration. My background is actually I'm local government, So how is that social care and healthcare coming together as a single unit and providing those services out to the population going forward? And then for me and my team who are at the back is building knowledge about what else we do. As I mentioned, this is a data centre. That is a moat. We are on a hill. So actually, if this floods, most of you are in deep trouble because this is way, way high. But this is a secure data centre, hence the ID badges. So back to why are we involved in this and why is it so important to Redcentric? We look after 7 HSCN regions. So Yorkshire down to East AP, BLMK, the Birminghams, the whole area. We have over 70 hospitals to migrate, and we are migrating, and some are already off N3. We have hundreds and hundreds of GP surgeries. And with the delivery team, we're making sure that we provide additional services. I'll call it white van, down to the level of plugging the wire into the back of the router, because that's not a GP surgery's day job. So we're trying to knock out all the logistics of this to make sure that when it arrives, if needs be, working with NHSD, there's a man there. Site surveys. You know, some of these hospitals, especially the Birminghams, have got hundreds and hundreds of GPs all over the place. And then secondly, working with the trusts and the CCGs to make sure, as a region, when they report back into NHSD, they are confident that all the levels are good to go and there's no miscommunication. Just to show you how granular we are going on this, I have a meeting with NHSD to go through every SIN. So that's every wire into your hospitals and trusts. I have to put an end date on it, either termination or migration. And there are thousands of them. We're down to that detail, or there was thousands. We're now reducing down. And furthermore, where there's some that NHSD think you have and you don't know where they are for whatever reason, because you've morphed and absorbed people, we're just working with you to identify what they are, and if they're ceases, helping you cease those going forward. So I'm trying to tick all the boxes to make sure everybody is safe. Why Redcentric? I won't steal Mark's thunder. We have an extremely good pedigree within the health sector, both with NHSD and individual trusts and hospitals, and also partners of ours who deliver health services and applications into the trusts. And again, we're making sure that everybody is enabled and aware of what's going on. From a site perspective, CCGs, 280 sites we're working with. We're sharing ideas as well. I'm all into, if you've got a fantastic idea, I will use it and then say it's my own and share it with others, because we are all in this together. So if it works well one way and then we need to twist the way we do it, then we will use that going forward and say, actually, this is what we did at that hospital and it worked really well. Because again, it's all back to the date. GP surgeries, we're finding a lot of the super surgeries. So we're working with them to say, actually, why are you buying 8 or 9 circuits when actually one circuit will do the job? And again, then there's the kind of the value for money and the ROI on those circuits. But also with the technical guys making sure whatever further services are coming, you make sure you have the capacity to deliver whatever service is coming down the line, public access Wi-Fi and all that kind of good stuff. So it's not just a like for like, it is looking forward. And then what other services are going end of life? So IPT telephony, the N3, again, is end of life. So how do we migrate you off that onto something else? Or are you migrating onto something else? Or for me personally, if you're in a region, how do we give you a regional-based solution, which again is more cost-effective? And because hopefully most of you are on our HSCN network, we can manage that on your behalf.